अब हामी चाहिँ लस एन्जलसबाट चाहिँ सिङ्गापुर ल एकचोटि मुस्कान देऊ हामी कहाँ चाहिँ आइयो त अन्त जापान नारिता एयरपोर्ट टोकियो खै हेरौँ बाई 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 सी देयर हामी चाहिँ सिटी टुर गर्नु गएर जान लागिरहेको छ कस्तो भयो है
We should start at 12 o'clock, but no worries, we are 10 minutes early. If you want to go to the beach in South, very expensive here in Singapore. Due to the land, alright, very good boy. This land, these are all reclaimed land. We were part of Malaysia for 2 years. 25, we are leaving at 105, so come back here.
ल बस्छ त्यहाँ बस्छ कहाँ भन्छ बस्छ त डाउनटाउन Yeah, right, you are right.
Be first, I take you to a place, I'll give you time during the Second World War. So we will give you about 5 minutes where you have to pay for the attraction.
It's been our pleasure serving on this flight. Thank you.
एकचोटि मुस्कान देऊ ए अनुहार पनि नराम्रो भइरहेछ दाह्री काट्न पाइएको छैन नुहाउनु पाइएको छैन भइएन त्यही त निद्रा पनि नपुगेको जस्तो भयो कि के भयो अनुहार त्यस्तै यस्तै छ 17 घन्टा छ अब इन्जोय गर इन्जोय हामी कहाँ चाहिँ आइयो त भन्दा
जापान हो होइन
जापान नारिता
एयरपोर्ट रहेछ
टोकियो जापानको नारिता एयरपोर्ट टोकियो 35 गेट इन्फर्मेसन गर्मी छ जापान नारिता एयरपोर्ट जापान
यो जापानको नरिटा एयरपोर्ट हामी यहाँ कहाँ आएको भन्नु त भयो के अरे पछि
जापान टोकियो नि नारिता एयरपोर्ट हो अब अहिले यस बेला चाहिँ कति
किन यहाँ किन राखेको यहाँ रुक्या हो यो
छोरी फिलिङ र भयो सरसफाइ भयो
हँ?
केटकेटिङ भयो
कति बेला बोर्डिङ कति बेला गर्ने भने हँ
आधी घन्टापछि चाहिँ सिङ्गापुर उठ्छौँ
ओके कति बजेर बेलुकाको यो राति भयो
8:15
है यही एयरलाइन्स हो क्या अरे नि यही सिङ्गापुर एयरलाइन यही हो क्या अरे सी यु इन सिङ्गापुर
हामी अहिले जापानको टोकियो नारिता एयरपोर्टमा छौँ अब केही समय 15 मिनटपछि चाहिँ अहिले रातिको 8:30 भयो 8:45 हामी यहाँबाट चाहिँ सिङ्गापुरतर्फ लाग्दैछौँ अहिले यहाँ चाहिँ रिफिलिङ सरसफाइको लागि चाहिँ यहाँ चाहिँ ल्यान्ड भयो यो एयरपोर्ट चाहिँ टोकियो सिङ्गापुर 35 नम्बर गेट 35 थ्याङ्क यू एयरपोर्ट टोकियो आठ 24 भयो रातिको 34 देखि 35 ग्रिनरी हो त्यो अब हाम्रो चाहिँ फ्लाइट चाहिँ अब भयो सुरु हुन लाग्यो
During takeoff and landing, if you can't reach the seat in front of you, lower your head and lean forward as far as you can. Place your hands on top of your head. In an emergency evacuation, floor level lighting will lead you to your nearest exit.
सिङ्गापुर आइपुग्यो सिङ्गापुर रातिको सिङ्गापुर एयरलाइन्स आइरहेछ के 7:45 खै हेरौँ अब ब्याग स्टोरिङ टर्मिनल 3 ट्रान्जिट 7 के भन्छ ए हेरौँ न म यहाँ उकालो छु यहाँ त्यही थाहा हुन्छ नि त तपाईँहरू गएर हामी सिङ्गापुर आइरहेछौँ रातिको कति बजा छ अरे के अरे गार्बेज भइहाल्छ नि हालौँला नि अहिले
सिङ्गापुरको एयरपोर्ट टर्मिनल 3 अब रातिको 2 बजिरहेछ यो टिफिन खोल्दैछ प्राडाको यहाँ छ गुचीको त्यहाँ छ रातिमा सबै स्टोरहरू बन्द छन् किन के गरेर बिचमा के गरेर
See you there. त्यहाँ बस्छ त भन्छ त्यहाँ बस्छ न त्यहाँ बस्छ त्यहाँ उगाएर न मोबाइल भिडियो उयो आउँछ कस्तो राम्रो रहेछ यही हो त ऊ भनेको बटरफ्लाई होइन अनि त्यो 4:24 आज मर्निङको हामी यसरी आइरहेको छौँ कस्तो राम्रो के प्लास्टिक अदर्स कस्तो राम्रो क्या यहाँ कस्तो राम्रो सिस्टम ऊ यहाँ पनि रहेछ नि एउटा के हो ऊ त्यहाँ स्काई ट्रेन पनि रहेछ नि त नि ओ यहाँ भित्र के रहेछ क्या भित्र हेर न हेर न स्काई ट्रेन त किन चाहिँ यहाँ पनि कति रमाइलो रहेछ अनि अगाडि गाडी गइरहेको छ automatic irrigation lane हामी चाहिँ सिटी टुर गर्न जान लागिरहेको छौँ सिटी टुर यो हाम्रो ग्रुप हुन्छ त्यस्तो कस्तो भएको है
That one, no worries. I know. That is my playground. I was just there last night.
हाम्रो चाहिँ यो टुर सिटी टुर
Okay, right. We should start at 12 o'clock, but no worries. We are 10 minutes early, which means we have 10 minutes extra time for us to walk around. Okay. However, we should be back here again before 2:30. Okay. Right now. Let me wish you in Malay, our national language, Selamat datang ke Singapura, which means welcome to Singapore. I'm your guide. My name is Noor, spelled N-O-O-R. And the captain behind the wheel, his name is Tula. Okay? Tula and Noor will take you on this city sightseeing for the next about 2.5 hours. Okay? Where are we going to? The city, of course, because we are going on a city sightseeing. Okay? But however, after you have been on the city sightseeing, you have taken a picture of the Merlion, the icon of Singapore. You have taken a picture of Marina Bay Sands. What else are there to go for? That one, I will tell you more about that on our way back later. But I need your cooperation, a few things that I have to do. Not that I am the mean person or whatever, okay? One is when you get off the coach, you must take everything down with you. You cannot leave anything behind. Even your bags, even your knapsack or backpack, whatever. Because both Tula and I are not responsible for your belongings. That's the reason why earlier on, for those who have cabin bag, we expect you to put inside the locker. This is a requirement, not because I want you to, but it is part of the regulation. So I want you to understand that. Second, the sponsors of this tour, that is Changi Airport Group, Singapore Airlines, and Singapore Tourism Board. Okay, they want us to take a group photo to show that, hey, to prove that you have been on the city side. So I need to take a group photo. I would rather do it in the city. Okay, and second, at the end of the tour, they need you to do a feedback. Now, even though it is free tour for you, they are paying for it. So that's why they want you to do a feedback. Frank, okay? I'm not asking you not to be frank. Please be frank. So if there are anything that you're not happy with, right, put it under constructive feedback. Constructive feedback, that means if you want me to be a handsome guy, I can't do anything about it. I'm a senior lady. I shouldn't say an old lady, okay? A senior lady. But if it is something pertaining to what I do that you find is not right, speak to me. Because we are only about 733 square kilometers right now. Over the years, we have done a lot of land reclamation, okay? So I will tell you more about the size and the people later. Meanwhile, I want you to look on your left. Yeah, this is the part, we are still within Changi Airport complex, yeah? But there's so many trees that you can see here. Not only those that are grown by the roadside, even within Changi Airport itself, and even within Jewel. This is done on purpose. When we first started in the 1970s, we actually have it as a garden city. So our priority was to plant a lot of flowers, flowering plants. That's why we call it a garden city. Later we developed, okay? This is indeed a very good job that has been done by the National Parks Board. National Parks Board is a government organization that's responsible for all the trees within Singapore. In fact, we have more than 7 million trees here. Now, a little bit more about the country and also about what you're looking at as we pass by the East Coast later. I will tell you about it. First, let me show you a map of Singapore. Don't worry if you cannot see it clearly. It's just an indication of where we are and where we are going to. Now, this is the map of Singapore. Imagine it to be in the shape of your eye for you to see with. So if you cannot see it, never mind. Just at least you know the description given, your eye, right? So on the eastern part is usually the one on the right. That's where Changi Airport is located. And where are we heading to? The central part of Singapore is near towards the southern part here. So central, I'm talking about the city, okay? Because the whole of Singapore is actually all urbanized. We do not have any more kampong. Kampong means village or suburbs. Even wherever we live, north, south, or west or east. Why I don't mention south? Because south is a very expensive place to live in. That's the city. I live in the east, about 5 kilometers away from here. Alright? It's all built up, which means the only kampong or village or suburb area that we have will be, you have to take a ferry to one of the islands called Pulau Ubin. Pulau in Malay means island. Way back, even before the coming of Raffles in 1819, it was one big Malay archipelago. So the Malay Sultan was ruling this island. Later, I'll tell you about history when we are at the city, because that's more appropriate, and you get to see, to have a campsite, to have a swim, or just relax by the beach. I know our port is one of the busiest ports in the world. At any one time, there's at least 1,000 ships out each. If you want to go to the beach in Southeast Asia, some of them would be Bali, Phuket, or even Malaysia, Langkawi, Tioman, etc. But this is for us at home. Where could we go if we want to go by the beach? So East Coast Park is one, if we want to go for picnic or for a swim, alright? But I'm one person who don't like the beach so much. I can't swim, but I can float better. The whole stretch on the eastern part there, people can do all sorts of activity besides just swimming, having a picnic. We can even cycle. There is a very long park connector that actually the access on a coach or even in a vehicle, you can make so many rounds of Singapore within one day. So that's the reason why you may think, wow, 400 kilometers is too long. Well, you don't cover from one end to the other end. Usually, if you are the enthusiast, you would form a group and let's go here today and let's go this place the next day. That's how we actually very expensive here in Singapore. Due to the land constraint, housing is expensive too because of the land. So coming up shortly here, ladies and gentlemen, now this is the public housing that is being subsidized by the government for Singaporeans and permanent residents. This is how 80% of the population live. It is, when you talk about condominium, very nice looking indeed, so different from the public housing. They have got swimming pool, they have got security, and in order for you to enter into the compound of your private housing, you have a card or you have a certain number code to press onto the electronic gadget. So security is, there will be security guard to ensure that if you have friends coming, they know who of them are not inhabited. Yes, only a few islands there are houses there. Like the one that I was telling you about Pulau Ubin, which is the suburb area. There are still some houses there, but of the rustic type, yeah? Okay? Now we are going up this bridge. Keep looking on your left. Soon you'll see some of the attractions that I'd like to point out to you, because we are going to two places. We are going to the city center. We are going to take a walk around the city center, and later we are going to Gardens by the Bay. So keep looking on your left. Soon you get to see Gardens by the Bay. But the interesting part that I want to show you soon, you get to see the Marina Bay area, which is very important because not having enough land. So what did we do? We put a dam across the sea, and 2 years later, the salt water turned into fresh water. So we have Marina Reservoir right in the city center, and Marina Reservoir was created from the sea. Okay? And at the end of it, you can also get to see the Marina Barrage. Marina Barrage is of course the dam that is being put across the Marina Channel to create the 15th reservoir in Singapore. Today in total we have 17 reservoirs. So the waterways into Marina Reservoir, we have 5. Singapore River, which is now freshwater river, no more linked to the sea, no longer linked to the sea. We have Kallang River, Geylang River, Stamford Canal, and Rochor Canal. So every drop counts. That's what PUB, the National Water Agency of Singapore, want all of us to do, because water is precious. So what happened is every single drops will lead to the drains, will lead to the canals, the rivers, and ultimately will all flow into the reservoir. Yes, you can already get to see the Gardens by the Bay, those 2 domes there, the Club Forest and the Flower Dome. So our second stop will be Gardens by the Bay. But this is the interesting Marina Reservoir that I want to point out to you, which is now a freshwater reservoir created from the sea. At the end of it, you get to see the Marina Barrage. That's the dam that's being put across. Okay? And what do we have here? We have the Singapore Flyer, one of the highest observation tower here. Alright, these are all attractions within the city. But what's happening in the month of September? The Singapore Airlines Formula 1 Grand Prix stand is here. Okay? This is sponsored by Singapore Airlines. Every September, GP1 Grand Prix will take place here. Night race in Singapore. Yeah, it's not in the day, yeah? In the day, we are too busy with traffic. So at night, we close some roads to the traffic, and that's when the night race begins. So we are already in the city. City is about 20 kilometers away from the airport, so you see quite a lot of tall buildings. Most of them are definitely hotels or convention center. But we'll be passing by some of the ethnic areas, and good news for you, from June onwards, there is a new tour being added on called the Heritage Tour. The Heritage Tour will take you to the ethnic area, two places, Chinatown for the Chinese people and Kampung Glam for the Malay Muslim people. Okay? Yes, we cannot include all the 4 different ethnic groups, reason being only 2.5 hours tour. So don't ask me what about Little India or what about the other races area. No, we are not going there, right? Why? Now getting back to the population, 5.5 million people from main ethnic groups. 74% of the population is Chinese, 14% Malays, 9% Indians, and the 3% of other races, which includes a mixture of 2 main races called Eurasians. How the Eurasians came about? The European men marrying the Asian women, so their offspring are called Eurasian, half European, half Asian. And then there's a unique group of Chinese called the Peranakan. Boy, please sit down. You cannot go across. Okay, sit down properly. Yes, be a good boy. All right, very good boy. Okay, so the Peranakan came about when the Chinese men from China, they intermarried the local women here. So their offsprings, their children could not speak Chinese. They would speak Malay because the mothers were born here. So it's usually mother tongue. Alright, same with me. Which other language being taught in school? So our education system follow the Cambridge education system. We have to go for GCE, General Certificate of Education, N level, normal level. Then we have O level, ordinary level, and A level, advanced level. So we have a hard time competing with the native speakers. Okay? Yeah, because our papers list land. These are all reclaimed land. The original shoreline used to be slightly a little bit towards the right side there, yeah? Just to let you know. Okay. So when you look at the name of the road, sometimes you can figure out what it is. Like this one is North Bridge Road. There's actually a bridge further down that way that separates Chinatown. So after the bridge, what do you think it is called? Before the bridge is called North Bridge Road. After the bridge, South Bridge Road, exactly. So South Bridge Road is where Chinatown is. Yeah. Okay, this is just to give you an idea. So as we go along, you look at the name of the roads, you can roughly tell what it used to be. We are going to pass by a very well-known hotel in the world. That's none other than Raffles Hotel. But before Raffles Hotel come to sight, these are some of the tall buildings that are built against the old shop houses that you see here. These shop houses would be built around the 1900s. Okay, so we are not pulling all of them down. Where possible, we preserve these old buildings because this is part and parcel of our heritage. How do we travel here in Singapore? Because vehicles are very expensive. It is expensive to own a car. The government did it on purpose so that we do not have a transport. Of course, it's also very sweet price, right? And this one night about 700 Singapore dollars or so. Yeah. Okay, we are already right in the city center of Singapore. And here, this is the European area in the British colonial times. That's why you have the oldest Anglican church in Singapore. On your left here is undergoing an upgrading. So if you can see the blue canvas covering the steeple there. This is the St. Andrew's Cathedral, the oldest Anglican church in Singapore. And coming up shortly here, where you can see on the top is like a UFO spaceship here. This building, this is the Supreme Court, the highest seat of justice here in Singapore. We were part of Malaysia for 2 years, and Singapore get its independence on the 9th of August 1965. So I'll continue about that later, because right now I want to show you Parliament House on your right here. We follow according to the British parliamentary system. So we do not have a queen or a king, so our head of state is none other than our president. She is none other than Madam Halimah Yacob. But the power lies in the hands of our Prime Minister and his cabinet ministers. So our Prime Minister right now is Mr. Lee Hsien Loong, but I'm sure you know his father better. His father was none other than Mr. Lee Kuan Yew, the first leaders of Singapore. Okay, now, before we get down, a few things to take note of. Number one, do not lose sight of me. This is again a requirement by the sponsors. In the event, if you decide to leave, please let me know, because we are leaving at 1:05. So come back here. How do you know where this is? This is called Victoria Concert Hall. In front there is called Victoria Memorial Hall. Okay? Alright, the rest of you bring everything.
Very nice place, Singapore. Wow, very good. I like it. Victoria Memorial.
It's on the coach. Or maybe I go and get. Just wait here. I'm taking my microphone.
Huh? ल बस्छ त्यहाँ बस्छ के भन्छ बस्छ त भनेर ब्याङ्क अफ अमेरिकाको चाहिँ सिटी पनि रहेछ यहाँ रहेछ ब्याङ्क अफ अमेरिका यो डाउनटाउन रहेछ यो सिङ्गापुरको चाहिँ
the bottom half of a fish that sticks to the old name of Temasek or Freetown that Singapore was once called. Okay? So this is the famous Merlion, half lion, half fish. Follow me, go straight your way. If you use coach because it's not direct way, it's a different way back. Okay?
मलेसिया सिटी बैंक अफ अमेरिका पनि यहीँ रहेछ एसएसबीको बिएसको डिबिएसको यता हेर
कस्तो रमाइलो है
हो त नि सिङ्गापुर सिटी नि त रमाइलो भइहाल्छ
मुभी सुटिङ गरेको थियो त्यो
ए एउटा मुभी हो त
एउटा
अँ
अमेरिकन के भन्ने मुभी सुटिङ गरेको थियो के हो के थियो के अरे हामीले हेरेको थियो नि
हो बुझेँ मैले के अरे
कस्तो रमाइलो
कस्तो राम्रो छ Sorry. गर्मी चाहिँ साह्रै गर्मी छ उत्पात गर्मी छ तर रमाइलो पनि त्यत्तिकै रमाइलो छ है सिङ्गापुर सिटी चाहिँ हो पसिनाले झपझप पारिसक्यो लुगा पनि त्यस्तै लगाएको छु मैले आफ्नो प्रेडिक्ट गर्न सकिनँ भनौँ न कस्तो चाहिँ उ छ मौसम छ कस्तो चाहिँ टेम्परेचर छ भन्ने कुरो चाहिँ है दार्जिलिङसँग गर्न सकिनँ है त हेर्नुहोस् त कति रमाइलो छ
Chụp đi.
तिमी जाऊ त अन्त त्यहाँ त्यता बस्छ न कति राम्रो हेर्नु त
I cannot understand. This got me calling him.
पनि लाग्यो अहिलेको ब्रिज हो हामी यतैबाट चाहिँ
शिल्पलाई मेरो फोटो खिचिदिन्छु म अर्को भिडियो सबै यो एन्डरसन ब्रिज रहेछ नि यहाँ एन्डरसन ब्रिज रहेछ यो चाहिँ के रहेछ त बढी के रहेछ यतापट्टि यहाँ त्यही भएर होला रिनोभेसन गरेर
एन्डरसन ब्रिजको
एन्डरसन ब्रिज
एन्डरसन ब्रिज
Sacramento there.
चिली ब्रिज
Downtown, होइन?
This way, please. Free Singapore tour.
Very hot. Yeah. Yeah, right. You are right. See, you understand now. She got to understand. Rmhar.
पिक्चर लागि भिडियो ल्यायो मान्छे
सबै छ नि
Come with me first. I take you to a place. I'll give you time to take photos. Despite that, people are still taking photos without water and air conditioning. Sustainability means to conserve the environment so that the future generation monument there. This is the civilians memorial to honor the civilians that perished during the Second World War under the Japanese rule. As I told you earlier, we were under the Japanese occupation for about 3.5 years, from 15 February 1942 to 12 September 1945. So to remind us of all the civilians that perished, 4 towers, namely Chinese, Malays, Indians, and the other races. Okay? Okay, remind me at Gardens by the Bay to take the group photo, because I didn't take the group photo at the city. Too much of a chaos going on, looking for missing people. So let's hope it will be a better group management at Gardens by the Bay. It's 733 square kilometers. So the same Gardens by the Bay. Why do we have Gardens by the Bay? Remember about sustainability? Not only concrete jungle, we need plants, we need trees, we need insects, we need nature. So our existing botanic gardens, which is near Orchard Road, that's the tourist belt area of Singapore. Yes, we have orchids, fantastic. Orchids grow in this part of the world because of the climate, because of the temperature. And in fact, our national flower, for those countries who have 4 seasons, you can say, hey, I can have a greenhouse to plant those tropical country kind of plants and flowers. So for us, if we want tulips, we want all those flowers growing Turkey as in Istanbul. Deep. So
होटल रहेछ यो
how they cool down their 2 domes later. Okay, this is a clock. 2 o'clock sharp we have to leave, okay? If you're not here, we have to leave.
Garden by the Bay.
यता जानु पनि
So we call this structure here super tree. Once all the foliage have covered the pipes, it looks like a big tree from the front.
Oh,
It's called super because of all the sustainability features that I talk about now. Interesting part about this gardens by the lake. The two domes which we'll soon see, how is it cooked? It's not cooked the conventional way like using the air conditioning. How do you do it? What does that mean?
कस्तो राम्रो रहेछ यो पाइपभित्र चाहिँ ऊ राखेको सबै प्लान्ट चाहिँ मिलाएर राखेर यसरी चाहिँ बनाएर रहेछ यो। ल क्लाउड फरेस्ट
Have the highest man-made waterfall in the world until Jewel opened in 2019. So Jewel is now the highest at 40 meters high. So the cloud forest replicates what we have as the mountainous region in Malaysia. Why Malaysia? Singapore, we do not have any mountains. So, the highest one of the highest man-made waterfalls in the world inside the cloud dome, and as you go up, it simulates as if you are at the mountain. Okay? Now over here, this is the flower dome that I was telling you right now. Tulips, but the theme is from Turkey, Istanbul is being simulated here. Inside the dome, very cool, just like Jewel, at about 23 degrees Celsius. So we call it our cool house. Okay, so called. Now come this way, we are going to the super tree grove.
Appreciation हो यहाँ।
Okay, come here. Okay, you can take the word super tree grove there.
Oh, super
have you
tree.
seen the movie The Asian?
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the shot was done here where during the wedding night or whatever she ran
Yeah.
away. Okay. So it is done here at Super Tree Grove. Now, interesting part about the Super Tree Grove, ladies and gentlemen, not today. Any other time when you come back here, you decided to stay here for a few days. Come to the free light and sound show here called the Rhapsody Show here at Super Tree Grove. 7:45 to 8 o'clock is one show. 8:45 to 9 o'clock is one show. Only 15 minutes. What happened? These super trees that we have, about 12 of them in the Super Tree Grove here, will be dancing to the sound of music. Depends on the theme. I was here about 2 nights ago. It was the opera.
Opera, yeah.
And then the lights dancing. Very nice, and it's free of charge. Okay, this is for your information.
So every day?
You have to every day you have to sit on
Okay.
the ground. So if it's raining, don't come because unless you just be at the shelter here, which is not viable. Okay? All right. Just come round here a little
Okay.
bit as we go further down. Let's walk under the shade. Come, let's walk under the shade. It's cooler.
Yeah, very nice.
Give you about 5 minutes for you to take a photo around here. Don't go too far away. Come back here because there's still a lot more to
Enjoy.
cover. But once again, for those who missed my talk earlier on, the 3 towers of the Marina Bay Sands, one of the biggest hotels in Singapore, deluxe hotels that belongs to the Sands US-owned company Las Vegas Sands. There are about 2,500 rooms there. And they have one of the casinos. There are 2 casinos in Singapore besides the Marina Bay Sands, which we passed by earlier on. and I'm talking about that by the Marina Bay front. Okay. The other casino is in Sentosa that belongs to the Malaysian tycoon that also own the Genting Casino Hotel in Malaysia. Okay. So 5 minutes from now.
तिम्रो लिदिन्छु भएर नि यहाँ बस न
एउटा लिऊँ न त दुई मान्छे
कहाँबाट आएछ के आएछ भने
एउटा केटाकेटी दिन्छ
Okay.
Ja.
Basement 2 is where the food court is. So if you want to try the local food, don't check in yourself first through immigration. Go out first, explore the area. You have to go back to the immigration at least one where you have to pay for the attraction. It includes the discovery slide. It includes the topiary garden as well as the petal garden. That is up on the 5th level of Jewel. Okay? Alright, bye-bye. So I will tell you when to drop off for Terminal 1. We are going to Terminal 1 first and then Terminal 3.
करिब 2 घन्टापछि चाहिँ उड्दैछौँ नेपालतिर काठमाडौँ यो सिङ्गापुर एयरपोर्ट